here.
And welcome back to Twin Elm Rugby Park in Nepean, Ontario. Doug Cross with Pierce Higgins bringing you next game action in the NACRA Sevens Championship. It's Barbados taking on Trinidad and Tobago. And this will be a real even match, Pierce Higgins, and these teams got a lot to play for against each other here.
Yes, they do. The whole Caribbean part of this competition is up for grabs in terms of Caribbean champion, which is part of the NACRA Sevens. And as we saw from the previous game, everybody's still in the mix, and the winners here will have a great opportunity tomorrow to be in the playoffs.
Thanks to Rob Turk for running color with you just a moment ago. And it's Trinidad and Tobago trying to organize an attack from within their own 22. The heat really at its maximum right now, just over 31 degrees Celsius. And these teams don't seem to be even affected by it, but that's because they're athletes and they're doing well. Penalty against Barbados, not releasing the tackler on the ground.
And there's good, these players take good hydration, lots of staying out of the sun during the weeks and get lots of fluid on board, so they're used to this.
Agbula Silverthorne working it outside to Joseph Kwashi. Now here's some space for Andrew Taylor. He's brought down hard. That was Dario Stout making the tackle. Welcome to all our viewers from these two great nations, Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. Happy to bring you this coverage via Rogers Cable in Canada. Happy to have all our viewers aboard today. It's been a great day of Sevens rugby here in Ottawa at the NACRA Sevens Championship. Agbula Silverthorne now does a stutter step. Now he decides to chip through off a Barbadian player, but he manages to pick up his own mistake, trying desperately to stay in touch, stay in play, and he does well. James Phillip now whipping it outside, and now looks like Barbados has snapped up that loose ball, but they need to play with that a little more carefully, and you might see them kicking to space just to find, that little stutter step just about solved Silverthorne. Great job there by Harewood. He cleans out at the ruck. Liam Cooper-King now. Ball going to Phil Lucas. One-handed pass, nearly trouble, and it is trouble for Sean Ward. Will Trinidad and Tobago make them pay for that lackadaisical play? That's number 8, Keyshawn Waller, but Barbados managing to get to that loose ball. Now here's a foot race that's on. Joseph Kwashi has got the angle on the man, and that is Sean Ward. And then agonizingly a knock on when it looked like he would have had a clean route to the try zone.
Yes, indeed it was. It was a good breakout by Barbados. They were pinned in their own end zone there, and they're back now just outside the TNT 22.
Trinidad and Tobago being a little too loosey-goosey with their passing, but here's a break. It seems to have found a lane, and that was Anthony Lopez getting it outside, and this may be the first try of the game. Yes, it will be. Look at the smile on his face. The big swooping drop as Stefan Kuksami drops it on the ground here. Watch the pass here, Pierce.
Yes, nice work here as you'll see him looking, he's driving for the line. His complete focus is scoring this try, steps inside the defense, and you'll see the big swan dive here. There's a big smile, as you said, in his face. There's a little dive, and be careful not to drop that ball, as often happens.
We've seen some tragic examples of grandstanding gone wrong. Oh, and the conversion kick there missed, and it was a sitter right under the posts, and that's when the heat's starting to take the toll, and maybe a guy's just being too little relaxed with that kicking job.
And that's 2 points they may need later on, absolutely.
Oh, game close like this, 5-0. Yep. Canada and Jamaica coming up on the women's side. It'll be the last game for them. Canada undefeated on both sides of the table for both the men and women. Oh, look at this, just pounding through, legs driving, and that is great effort from Anthony Lopez. But in the midst of it all, it appears he got the ball stolen by a Barbados defender. And now unplayable, so it'll be a scrum to TNT.
Attacking side getting the ball there from the referee, getting the advantage of moving forward.
I've seen instances today of the ball getting very greasy because of all the sweat. I've even seen players wearing grip mitts, something that you'd wear in cold, wet weather. And this ball is just getting so greasy as we're calling for a substitution now. And number 9, Kurt Quashie is going to come on, brother of Joseph Quashie.
Yeah, you're quite right. We've seen a larger incidence of knock-on and mishandling than you would normally see at this level of sevens, even for the Canadians and the US team.
So Kurt Quashie replacing our try scorer, Stefan Cooksamy, and he just may have emptied the tank on that try. Now quick fling back by Marcus Harewood. Now that's Tom Lucas. These teams both very interested in the stutter step as we watch Liam Cooper King get driven to ground and nearly into touch. Good job by both teams to keep that in play. Now the knock-on, it'll be scrum for Barbados.
Referee right in the spot, very close to the touchline, but neither side got it in, so we have a scrum down, and it could be Barbados put in.
Well, great weather day we've had here in the nation's capital, and for a lot of our listeners from Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados, it's just another day in paradise. But for us folks who have to scrape ice off our cars 6 months of the year, this is the weather we live for.
Well, it was interesting. Some of our Caribbean friends were taking credit for bringing the sun with them, so because they were worried about how cold it might be here when they came up at this time of year.
Yeah, I think some of them read the wrong pamphlet. But here we go. That's going to be a try under the post for Joseph Quashie. So second try by Trinidad and Tobago this half, 6 minutes into this game. Great job by Quashie, who's on the field with his brother now.
And once the ball was under his arm, he drove for the line. You could see the drive in his step. Nice pass out there, and you'll see here that he just tucks that ball away and drives to the goal line.
Agbula Silverthorne, the man with the big dreadlocks, they're setting that play up nicely. Just nicely timed pass, waiting for the contact to come to him, and then a cutout pass. And a kick missed again, and that was Silverthorne. And oh boy, it's just 10-0, and why would you give away points so easily?
And very lackadaisical approach. Didn't seem like he cared whether he got it or not. It was just, I'm sure the coach will have some words with him on that.
I think their game plan is we're going to score so many tries, the 2-pointers won't matter. And Silverthorne can kick because he's doing their kickoffs for them.
Yes, and he has the ability to kick well. It's just a little lack of focus there on both those conversions.
Kelson Figaro on the field now for Trinidad and Tobago, and maybe that change will. That's a great starting out. Didn't quite go 10 meters. Played by Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm surprised the whistle didn't go on that unless a Barbadian hand got there. The 7-minute halftime hooter has gone off. And now that's a penalty game. The halftime can't end on a penalty, nor can a game end on a penalty. As we get Leon Driscoll keeping this ball alive. Tom Lucas, and now Liam Cooper King. That's Dominic Peters trying to find a path outside. TNT blocking the way, and now kick through by Silverthorne. And will he have the gas to come through? No, he's just forbidden from getting to that ball by a Barbados player. And that will be halftime. So, really should be 14-0 to start with.
Yes,
both
indeed.
Those tries were scored under the post.
And a little unlucky not to get that call by the referee on that play. I just thought that the ball hadn't gone quite the 10 meters, but the referee gave advantage on and give a quick penalty later back to Barbados, and you wonder their little makeup. But some work to be done here if they're going to get back in this game. Barbados, TNT look a much stronger team at this point. So
we were speaking about it earlier in another game. With how much this is an opportunity for referees as well. Day one, everyone's refereeing, but day two, not everyone's going to get an assignment. They'll be assessed, and then the plum assignments will be handed out based on.
That's exactly as the instructions were last night at the referees meeting. It'll be everyone gets an opportunity today, and they'll be evaluated on their performances. And selection tomorrow will be merit based.
And we'll just listen in on this halftime talk here with Trinidad and Tobago.
Several national teams also received much needed support from the Canadian Rugby Foundation.
But
Prop. Okay. So after you get going in, right? Somebody else? Okay, look. Okay, here's the point differential.
Go big or go home.
When on the green? Just back yourself and go.
Go big or go home.
Because the player just did it.
So despite the fact that TNT is leading 10-0, that sounded like the coach that was maybe laying in the words a little bit there.
Well, I think a little lackadaisical, as we said earlier, the approach to the conversions and stuff. You can't take this game for granted, and as you know, a sevens game can turn on an intercept, on a bad tackle, on a missed pass. So I think the coach looking for more focus from his team.
Kelson Figueroa will get this started for TNT. So don't forget, folks, if you're watching this on Rogers Television or online and you get a chance, come to day 2 of our coverage here as game back underway. Watch it online or come to Twin Elm Rugby Park and have a great day of rugby as the footing gives out on Barbados there, in on their own 22. And that is Leon Driscoll. He's trying to find a way through, but great coverage there and almost steps out of a tackle. Flings it from the ground to Dario Stout. Stout staying on his feet. Look at that pounding he's taking as he goes through. He's got help behind him, but it looks like TNT have wrapped him up and they may come away with this ball on the ground. No, it stays Barbados side as Anthony Baines Charles. And actually the player with getting tackled without the ball and maybe advantage being played for that. And that is Kelson Figueroa again going into contact. Barbados may be committing too many people to breakdown they have, as we see a free pass to number 12, Joseph Quashie, his second try of the game. Too many people to break down, and that lane opened up.
Well, not just that. I agree with you here. I thought the referee should have awarded a penalty in that previous play because definitely were infringed by Trinidad and Tobago. But he's on the field. He's in charge of the game, and what he saw, he let go. So we have an opportunity now for a conversion.
So Figueroa was not taking the kicks earlier. He came on just towards the end of the first half. We'll see if his fortunes are a little better here. That's a much better effort, and that's going to just squeak in the right post there. And so that expands the score to 19-0.
Going to take a lot of work here now by Barbados. They need 3 tries unanswered, and they need to convert all of them.
And it's actually 17-0. My gazintas weren't working today. That's right, because we were 10-0 going into that.
Trinidad and Tobago now leading 17.
So we have Figueroa to restart this now. Boy, he's like Kieran Hearn with his high kicks. Very good job. Barbados can't get to it. And that looked like Keyshawn Waller that was trying to tap that back to his side for TNT. It'll be a line out instead for Barbados. A little bit of argument about who has possession.
I think the kick was excellent in terms of its height, but just a little long for his team to get under. So, but a great exponent of that is, as you say, Kieran Hearn today gives a masterclass in getting that ball about 11 meters and up in the air.
Number 12, Dominic Peters coming on the field for Barbados. We'll just pick up the player that's coming off for you in a moment. Substitutions on the third game of the day, very important, keeping your side in a game here. And that's number 8, Keyshawn Waller, that's come off for Barbados. Well taken by Anthony Baines Charles. TNT trying to crush through, but the Barbados tacklers helping him knock that ball on.
This time Barbados line out, so they still need to get scores on the board. They're looking at past the 10-minute mark now, so they're really on the scoreboard at least.
The line out in sevens rugby a little limited. It's going to go to one guy, we're pretty sure, the middle guy in the jumper. That one, nice clean transfer as Leon Driscoll gets it outside to Dominic Peters. Loose ball now, slapping it around rather than getting possession. Now Barbados is having to shrink back on territory to absorb some of the pressure from Trinidad and Tobago. And now there's a big tackle by Keyshawn Waller. That was Liam Cooper King that came off for Barbados earlier. Pass inside now. Nice job by Sean Ward. Now free open pass there by Keyshawn Waller. Chip and chase on here for Waller, but he knows he doesn't have the gas to get there. That was actually Kurt Quashie, part of the brother act on this TNT team. Phil Lucas, he manages to offload to number 5, Sean Ward, who's bundled into touch. 11 minutes gone in this game in total. 4 minutes, 21 seconds in this second half. And I wouldn't say that, Trinidad and Tobago have dominated. They've got more points, but Barbados doing all the right things.
Yes, they are. They just haven't been able to make that break. It gave them a clean run at the line that Trinidad did when they got the ball, and they made a very slick break or two and kept possession of it, which was most important in the contact.
Throw-in will be by Keyshawn Waller, and now Daryl Scott looking to wind his way through the Barbadian defense, but instead, loose ball picked up by number 4, Steph Terex. And there's Leon Driscoll. We've called his name all game long. A busy player, always looking for work, and now he's looking for some help as a Trinidad and Tobago player down hard and in some obvious discomfort. It was almost like Driscoll was looking over to that player who was yelling out.
So the referee has stalled play where we get some attention. I think this is a sign of a little bit of fatigue. It's very hot. No matter how hard you hydrate and prepare for this, 3-4 games in a day like this is very demanding.
Yeah, I think coaches always look to the third game about how do we spread the workload around. No one wander off too far. You could be playing inside of the next couple of minutes.
And of course, the issue is when you're so tight in the tournament, and you haven't had the wins you thought you'd have. You have to have your best guys out there, and that's the other side. They get fatigued very quickly.
Right, they do all the heavy lifting and not getting the result. It's a double whammy. So it'll be scrum here, and Barbados will be putting it in. Anthony Bain-Charles will have the put in. Out it comes quick as that, and now a loose ball picked up by Daryl Scott. Bit of a knock on there though, and frustration setting in as Keyshawn Waller kicks that ball into touch, and frustration just couldn't find the handle, and now it's a scrum for Barbados.
Well, less than 2 minutes now to go in this game. I don't see a danger now of TNT losing this game. Barbados put some incredible effort in, but just couldn't get the scores on the board.
So standing by, Marlene Donaldson and Heather Moyse will be bringing you women's rugby action as Canada takes on Mexico in the last, no, it's not Canada and Mexico. It's the last game coming up, Canada and Jamaica in the round robin, which turned into, Canada playing 4 games when they originally planned to play just 3 games on this first day. That's a bit of a tall day for all the women's teams, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and when you've got a team that's dominating like Canada, it makes it extra hard on their opposition.
Great job by Anthony Bain-Charles. He's a playmaker as we see number 5, Sean Ward, taken into touch. Great job has to be pointed out by the whole big Rogers crew we have out here. I mean, this is a big operation. Lots of people bringing cameras and laying cables. The director, the producer, everyone doing a stellar job, because this is a sporting event unlike any other when you have so many games rolling through an afternoon here.
And we couldn't bring this event to the public, the general public, and to the rugby fans in the islands either without the hard work of Rogers. It's been tremendous. And of course, some of our own crew here are new to the scene as well, so it's a learning experience for many of us in one form or another.
Yeah, very exciting to bring 2 days of television like this, and also streaming it on the internet around the world and across Canada. Number 8, Keyshawn Waller with the final horn. Trinidad and Tobago will throw it in, stolen, and will there be a try for Ward? Will he be? No, he's into touch, and that will be full time. So the final score, Trinidad and Tobago 17, Barbados men 0.